Today, it's time for our bedtime story. In a quiet green valley nestled between two misty hills, there lived a cheerful young boy named Oliver. Oliver was full of imagination and always buzzing with energy. He lived with his grandparents in a cozy stone cottage at the edge of a small village. The villagers were kind, the birds always sang in the morning, and wildflowers nodded in the breeze like they were saying hello, Dot. Now, Oliver had a very special job. Every morning, just after sunrise, he would take his grandfather's sheep up the hill to graze on the soft green grass. The sheep were fluffy, gentle, and slow. They never wandered too far and mostly liked to chew quietly or nap under the trees. At first, Oliver found this job exciting. He'd skip through the dewy grass with the flock following behind like puffy clouds on legs. He'd name the lambs and sing songs and make up stories in his head. But as time went on, he started to feel bored. Really, really bored. All day, it was just him, the wind, and the sheep. No one to talk to. No one to laugh with, just the baying of sheep and the rustling of leaves. Oliver missed being around the other kids in the village. He missed the fun and noise and silly jokes. One afternoon, while lying beneath a shady oak tree watching the clouds drift by, Oliver had an idea. A cheeky little idea that made him giggle. "What if," he said aloud to himself, "I pretend there's a wolf?" Just imagining it made his heart beat faster. The villagers would all come running to help. They'd shout. They'd panic. They'd surround him and listen to his story. For once, he wouldn't be just the boy on the hill. He'd be the hero, the one who warned the villagers. So he jumped to his feet, cupped his hands around his mouth, and shouted at the top of his lungs, "Help! Help! A wolf! A big, scary wolf is chasing the sheep." Down in the village, people dropped what they were doing. The baker set down his dough. The blacksmith put down his hammer. The teacher left her books. And even the mayor ran from her office. Everyone raced up the hill, hearts pounding. When they reached the top, out of breath and sweating, they found nothing, just Oliver, grinning. "No wolf?" the blacksmith asked. "Nope," Oliver said, laughing. "But wow, you all ran so fast. That was amazing." The villagers frowned. "That's not funny, Oliver," the mayor said sternly. "We were worried. You must never lie like that. What if a real wolf comes next time?" Oliver's smile faded just a little. "Okay," he said. "Sorry." But deep down, he still thought it had been a little bit funny and exciting. The next few days passed quietly. Oliver went back to watching sheep and singing to himself. But the boredom returned like a gray cloud over his head. The sheep munched. The grass rustled. Nothing happened, so he did it again. "Help, wolf?" I tease back. "A wolf is here." Once more, the villagers came running, and once more they found only a flock of peaceful sheep and a cheeky boy trying to hide his giggles. This time, the villagers were not just disappointed, they were angry. "Fool us once, shame on you," said the baker. "Fool us twice, and we won't believe you again." They walked back down the hill, shaking their heads and grumbling. And Oliver Zoe, feeling a little guilty, shrugged and said to himself, "At least it wasn't boring today." But a few days later, something changed. The morning had started like any other. The sun peeked out and Oliver led the sheep to the grassy hill. He lay under his favorite tree, hands behind his head, eyes watching the clouds. Then suddenly, the sheep started to bleat, loudly, nervously. Oliver sat up. He saw movement between the trees. A dark, shaggy shape with glowing eyes and sharp teeth slinked out of the forest. A real wolf, that it was huge and quiet and moved like a shadow. The sheep scattered, panicking, and Oliver's heart nearly stopped. "Help!" he screamed. "Please! A real wolf! It's really here this time." He ran to the edge of the hill, waving his arms. "Please, help me. The wolf is here for real." But down in the village, people shook their heads. "That boy again," sighed the teacher. "It's another prank," muttered the mayor. "I'm not wasting my time," the blacksmith said, folding his arms. "So no one came." And Oliver cried louder until his voice grew hoarse. He tried to chase the wolf away himself, but it was too fast, too clever. It grabbed one of the sheep and vanished into the woods before Oliver could stop it. By the time the sun was setting, Oliver was sitting alone on the hill, his cheeks wet with tears, his sheep huddled together, frightened. That evening, when he didn't return on time, his grandfather and some villagers climbed the hill to look for him. They found him curled up near the tree, eyes puffy and red. "I told the truth this time," Oliver whispered. "There really was a wolf, but no one came." "Why didn't anyone come?" The mayor knelt beside him and placed a hand on his shoulder. "Because, Oliver, when you lie, people stop believing you, even when you need them most." Oliver lowered his head. "I'm sorry," he said. "I understand now." From that day on, Oliver changed. He took his job seriously. He became a careful, responsible shepherd, and he never lied again, not even a little. And slowly, the villagers began to trust him again. They noticed his honesty, his quiet bravery, and the way he cared for his sheep. Years later, Oliver became known as the best shepherd in the valley. New children would sit around him in the evenings, listening to his stories. And when he told a tale of the boy who cried wolf, he always ended it the same way. Telling the truth may seem small, but it is mighty. Lies can cost you more than you think, but truth builds bridges that never fall. And the children would nod, wide-eyed, and promise to always be truthful too. And now, little one, it's time to close your eyes. Let your thoughts drift like clouds over the hills. Imagine the green valley, the soft bleats of sheep, and the quiet promise that tomorrow will be a new day full of truth and kindness. Sleep tight. The end.